Okay. So basically, I live in capital city of Slovakia, in
Super.
Bratislava. I was living here for the past 2 years,
Okay.
and I work as a quality resident for Rane Madras.
Super.
And Rane Madras are like suppliers, like they supply basically steering columns for Stellantis. Like Stellantis is the client. So Stellantis is a like very really big car assembly plant here in Slovakia, and they are assembling Citroen, Peugeot, and Opel cars.
Yeah.
So it was my education was around 2019, between like 2021, somewhere between that. And then in the month of April or May, I completed, and then I got my job like 2 months. Technical University of Košice. I
Yeah.
did my master's in automotive and production technologies. The university professors are really nice to to have help me in different many ways. So the education system was very flexible. I could choose subjects that I am interested in. Nothing is forced. I just have to like focus on the credits. It was very flexible. It's not like big book of 300 pages. It's basically like some 20 pages. That is only like what is required. Nothing what happened in the past. So it's
Okay.
very practical what people are doing in the industry right now. It was like really, really interesting. Liberates. I had all very technical stuff like 3D printing and then like 3D measurements, which is required in this industry, which I see it's more like better way of education, not just notes, just the practical way. They had like, some tools which is worth like millions of dollars.
Wow.
So it was practically like they made me like something like a souvenir. I could give them some design and they printed in 3D printer
Wow.
and 3D measurement I did with my own hands. They showed me like all this like mechanism, how it works, and then all this like practical stuff. Basically, nothing, just theory, just practical.
Hello, everybody. Welcome, all of you. My name is Shivaraman, Director of Europe Study Center. Today, we are going to interview our student Venkat, who studied in Slovakia and currently working in Slovakia. Venkat, welcome to the show.
Okay. So basically, as you know, I'm Venkat and I'm 27 years old, and I'm a quality engineer for Rane Madras. And then I basically did my bachelor's in Chennai in Palimalar Institute of Technology.
Okay.
And after I did my bachelor's between 2015 and 19, and after 2019, I did my master's through ESC. And
Okay.
then it was a 2-year program, and I did my majors in automotive and production technologies.
Okay.
And now I work for Rane as a quality resident engineer.
Super. Wonderful. A nice and a very crisp introduction. So, when did you finish your bachelor's, Venkat?
I did my bachelor's between 2015 and 19. So 2019 was the end, 4th year.
Okay. That is bachelor's in mechanical engineering. That's what you
Yeah,
said.
basically, yeah, bachelor's in
So,
mechanical engineer.
immediately after your bachelor's, you started your master's, or you're working for a
Yeah,
year?
no, I was not working. So I basically finished my bachelor's somewhere between like April or May. And on the same year, I tried to approach ESE, and then it was 2-3 months process. I don't want to waste, like a couple of years. So in the same year, around September, October, I flew
You
back to
left.
Europe.
Wonderful. We also tell the same to the students. If you are interested to study, you don't have to leave much gap after your bachelor's. You can immediately start your master's. So, at what moment, you thought like bachelor alone is not enough? I have to do my master's.
So basically, like financial freedom. So I saw my friends and my seniors working for some 10,000 rupees or 12,000 rupees in the core, and they said you have to work hard for 5 years, and then to get into a position where you can earn 35,000 rupees, and which is not at all like fair to my time.
Okay.
So again, I tried to like look for other options, directly get employment, and that is when I tried. Okay, let's do masters, because I see a lot of people like in the YouTube, doing their masters and posting videos, and my friends and family members are also one of the reason to
Okay.
like do masters. They also like motivated me good in a good way. So finally, I was happy, like that I can have like Europe experience to do something new.
So it's basically to explore, learn more, and have a good career. Obviously, right? Nothing wrong in aspiring, but for you to have this level of clarity at the age of 21, it's really appreciable. Now at least it's too much of Instagram, YouTube, everything is at its peak. But when you're talking about 2018, 2019, things were just heating up. not as aggressive as right now. So for you to take that particular decision and avoid the external noises, people used to say, right, no, 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 don't do this, work for a few years, then go abroad. You broke all those things and you move forward. So any specific reason you choose Europe, or you looked into other countries also?
So basically, with the same ESE, I had opportunities from different countries through like I got into one of the universities in Sweden, and which is not budget friendly because
Okay,
monthly expenses were more than like 1 lakh rupees. And the reason why I chose Slovakia is like cost efficient because at that time I don't want to force my parents, to
super,
get me like too much like
super.
amount. And I was also planning to learn German, so basically I can move to Germany. And like I had an opportunity to explore with Erasmus program with some consultant. So I was hoping that I'll do Erasmus in Germany, but unfortunately, like because of pandemic,
Okay,
so I couldn't
things.
go to that university from Dresden. So I
Okay.
chose Liberec instead.
Yeah, we are going to come to that particular segment. My question
Yeah.
was, you had only Europe in your mind, or you looked into other countries also, UK, Ireland, or Australia, Canada, etc.
So basically, I was very afraid with my language. So, and I don't want to do like IELTS or TOEFL. And also, I don't want to train for 1 month or like couple of months. I don't want to waste to give my English exams because I was basically afraid. And after a point, I thought like, there is an opportunity where I don't need to have all this English communication and like things like that. I can just give a medium of instruction certificate from my university and then all done, sorted out. At that time, I was like a kid, basically. I didn't know like what's happening around me. I was just going with the flow. Parents used to like direct me this, that. I had no clarity. Somehow I ended up here.
Okay.
So,
Okay. So how did you find us, Europe Study Center?
so it's through one of my friend. He
Okay.
also did his master's through like, like he also did his visa process through Europe Study Center. Like he
Okay.
was a good friend of me.
Okay.
I just asked him like, "What are you doing?" And then somehow he also said he's going to Lithuania. And then okay, I said like, okay, let me also try. I had an interview with one of your colleagues, and then they were
Okay.
nice enough to explain all this master's program. And then like basically, I spoke with also like few other engineers abroad through like Instagram, and they said, yeah, it's a really good experience, and it was something like that motivated me to like go to Europe. And then they said I can literally make some good money compared to India. And then they said it's freedom. That's everything.
That's everything. Wonderful.
Yeah.
So then you choose Slovakia Technical University of Kosasi master program. What program did you get admission for?
It was University of like Technical University of Košice. I
Yeah.
did my master's in automotive and production technologies.
Wonderful. So then after the visa process and all those things, by mid of September or end of September, you would have landed in Koshishi. So
Yeah.
back home, we learn differently, different learning pattern, procedures,
Mhm.
and going to a new country, experiencing a new education at the age of 21, 22. How did you feel?
It was quite a good experience, I would say. I was living like how I used to live in back in India because I had a community of Tamilians. It's
Okay.
almost like a complete floor. Like I was playing with them. It was like really, really like happy moments I had at that time.
Super.
Without them, I would have felt like really depressed because I'm kind of a social person.
Nice,
And
nice,
at
nice.
one point, I could not stay there, but because of my friends, somehow we ended up finding some happiness here and
Okay.
there, having some good Europe trips, and then like studying hard at the same time.
Super.
So that was like really amazing.
Super. Super. Yeah. Some students, they get a slight homesick, right? So when
Yeah,
you have friends around you, we get over
yeah,
it and start our mission of
yeah,
the
that's
objective.
true.
Good, good,
Hmm.
good. So then, how was the first semester? Because the learning pattern back home in India is different. Learning pattern in
Hmm.
Europe, it's different. How was it basically?
Hmm. So the university professors are really nice to like, to have help me in different many ways. So the education system was very flexible. I could choose subjects that I am interested in. Nothing is forced. I just have to like focus on the credits. So
Super.
I had to convince my friends to take the same subject so that the professor is available for that
Yes.
particular like set of students. So it's basically like 30-35 credits I have to like have in one semester. So it was really nice, and professors are really, really kind, except
Super.
few, like they're very strict because obviously we are Indians and we are always late, we're not punctual like this, that. So they are like because of that, they're also being strict.
These sort of challenges, they are always there all the time.
Yeah,
And Venkat, because of 2 3 students mistake, the entire
yeah,
group or the entire community gets a bad name.
yeah. That's
This
true.
is
Yeah.
because 1 or 2 people, they don't come on time, they don't follow the lectures, they become a pain to
Hmm.
the faculty, to the
Yeah.
university, to us, everybody. So this interview,
Hmm.
what I'm trying to say here is, please, you are going there, you're representing your state, your community, your country, everything. So please, even if you're not able to get good names, at least don't spoil the show. That is that is very, very important. So Venkat, in your learning aspect, did you change anything compared to back home in India and in TUKE?
I would say basically I was not learning every day. I was doing, like some part-time jobs to like meet my daily needs. And I had to do some projects on daily basis. It's not like how it's in India, where I
Okay,
had to like, attend all the lectures, all 8 hours. It was
okay,
basically like 3 to 4 hours a day, and then like 3 days in a week. And I also like some week I had to work extra like 12 hours. So it depends. Like basically, it was very flexible. It's not like big book of 300 pages. It's basically like some 20 pages. That is only like what is required. Nothing
what is it?
what happened in the past. So it's
Okay,
very practical. What people are doing in the industry right now, it's nothing like just like stories. It's just what exactly I need. Nothing else. Just the required things.
super. So you spoke a little bit about the professors, but you would have some really nice experience with the professors guiding you through clarifying your doubts. So kindly talk to us about the role the professors play in a student's life.
Yeah. So like basically, I was happy to have an internship from Garrett Motion, which was
Okay,
through my professor. So
okay,
because of him, I could experience, like what an industry is. It was during my fourth semester.
okay.
So I was really happy, like I had such experience with that. Since I did my master's right after my bachelor's, I had no experience. So to convince my first employer, like I had to like, put in some extra words that I was working in Garrett, and then I did my internship, and then this, that. So that point, that convinced like an employer to hire me as an intern for like 1.5 year. So which led me at this moment right now.
Super. Then I would like to ask you, I saw your LinkedIn profile. You also
Yeah.
did an Erasmus in Liberec University. So talk to us. How did you apply? When did you apply? The entire process, because many students have a lot of doubts when it comes to the Erasmus exchange studies.
Mhm. So basically, it happens at the third semester of the study program.
Okay.
So people could not apply on the first year. Like basically, two semesters you cannot apply, and you can apply on the third semester. That's the best possible way. And only one criteria for doing this Erasmus program is you have to satisfy the credits. For
Yeah.
example, let's say the third semester is 30 credit. In the same university in Leibniz, I had to get this 30 or 30 plus credits and then get back the credits here.
Yeah.
So I applied through like a Erasmus coordinator from the Technical University of Košice,
Okay.
and then everything they did the process. I just chose three universities which I like. So
Okay.
two was from Germany, and then one is from Czech Republic. So basically, I got into all these three universities because I had enough grades in my first year. So it was
Okay.
about 8.5 something.
Super.
So because of pandemic, I could not travel to Germany. So, but
Okay.
Czech Republic was still open, like
Open.
borders. So I chose like Liberec. It's a good option.
Super. How was your experience in Liberec? Because to Liberec also I sent a lot of students.
It was like quite an experience. Again, like I'm a socializing person. Again, I found a
Nice.
community of Tamil people. And then again, we were playing cricket all day,
Nice.
just
Nice. Nice.
study, like having classes. And I had, like people from there guiding me, like this professor is like really strict. You have to be like very, really careful with him. So don't
Okay.
take things in the last minute. So because of that, like some insights, I was really happy that I could get like good grades. Out of 30, I had like 43 or something. I chose it was like really, really interesting literature. I had all very technical stuff like 3D printing and then like 3D measurements, which is required in this industry, which I see it's more like better way of education, not just notes, just the practical way. They had like, some tools which is worth like millions of dollars.
Wow.
So it was practically like they made me like something like a souvenir. I could give them some design, and they printed in 3D printer,
Wow.
and 3D measurement I did with my hands, own hands. They showed me like all this like mechanism, how it works, and then all this like practical stuff. Basically, nothing just theory, just practical, and also like this quality, how buffer works. It was basically like all practical, like almost 80% is practical. Theory is only for exams, I need theory, but learning is only practical. Theory is just, some 20 pages I have to memorize and then understand the process and then give it. Nobody cares like what I do in the exam, but I have to get like good relationship with professor, and that will be like all right, because they can provide the grade that like according to a person. If the professor is really happy with how I behave with him, how I interact with him, and how like questions, how many questions I ask, how intelligent I am. If I make like 60% in the exams, he can still let me like have 80 percentage because of my behavior and my interest in doing some things, because I did basically like extra stuff to like learn more. So basically I had like 76 percentage and professor gave me like 90. I was
Super.
really surprised to have like, like 90 in the mark sheets. I was surprised.
Nice. And you scored 43 credits in a semester
Yeah.
instead of 30. Wow.
Yeah. I
Man,
chose like so many subjects. Yeah.
it's I studied in Europe, so I know like it's a lot of work. But
Yeah.
as you said, once you enjoy doing something, you don't look at the watch
Yeah.
or you don't look at anything.
Yeah.
You just go.
I was laser focused to do like more like learning stuff. I was never doing part-times or something. I was focusing only on studies. So that
Super,
was the main thing.
super. So you got an Erasmus funding, right? So approximately how much they pay you when you do an Erasmus at Czech Republic every month?
Yeah. Basically, I had a program like Erasmus, and I think they paid around 480 euros per month.
Close to
So they
500.
paid, yeah, closely funded, yeah, of course.
Super.
And so they paid me 80% of the whole, like total. 80% was paid on the before leaving Slovakia.
Okay,
Around 2,800 is already been paid. And then once I come back to Slovakia, they paid me like rest of the 20 percentage.
super.
So almost 3,500 approximately I had.
Nice, right? Travel to a different country, meet new set of people, new professors, and also to learn, and they are paying for it.
Yeah.
Good. Then now coming back to Kosasi, talk about the infrastructure and laboratories at Technical University of Kosasi.
Yeah. Uh, Basically, I did my master's in Technical University of Košice, but my faculty was in different city. It's
Okay.
not in Košice, but it was in a different city called Prešov.
Okay. Okay.
So
Peso.
it was, yeah. So they add, like, I had to travel to Košice to do
Mm-hmm.
some practical classes. So compared to like Košice, Prešov has like very less facilities. I had to travel like, every time to
Mm-hmm.
Košice to have some classes or to do some practical stuff. So, but the
Okay.
best part is Slovak government is providing free train passes to
Okay.
students for all 2 years.
So yeah, super.
So it was like fortunate that I don't have to spend any money, just my time, like 1 hour to and fro, and then basically they have a really good infrastructure. To answer your question, it was a really good experience. Like I had all these 3D measurement jigs, like how people, there are like so many industries where they are assembling the product. So they have all these trial uh, trialing jigs and the jigs and stuff, so which is like oriented to industry. So these jigs are taken from the other supplier companies. So they are planning to hire people based on the performance, what the guy is doing. And then this professor is suggesting these people to the company. So maybe like they have all the industry set up already inside the university.
Super. Amazing.
In practice.
It's yeah, it's good to study in those sort of places where the
Mhm,
university has good professors and
mhm,
good laboratories and with a lot of interested students. That forms
mhm.
an essential ingredient to have a you know
Yeah.
excellent university. Now, you spoke about the internships in the beginning. So, at what time did you apply for your internship?
So it was somewhere between my after my third semester. after my Erasmus.
Okay.
So I quit my Erasmus last semester.
Okay.
Just I got into internship. So I
Okay.
convinced my professors from the Technical University of Liberec to
Okay.
have this exam online.
Okay.
And then I said, in case if somebody is not accepting, I'm willing to travel back, give the exam, and then go back.
Go back.
Because
Super.
in the sixth month of the program, I got this internship, and I don't want to waste it because that is again for like 4 months. So I want some experience. So I chose this during like early fourth semester. This
Okay. How long
internship for
was
like
this? How long was this internship basically?
it was like for 4 months,
4 months. Okay.
and yeah, and then they had drop in like employees. So they hired some technical people just to like fill in. They taught me how it's done. And then basically they paid like almost like experience with money. It's not too much. Let's say like it's around 4.5 euros per hour.
Okay.
But I learned Industry 4.0 through
Super.
this internship. That was a really good takeaway from it.
Okay. So when did you start your? So after third semester, you did your internship. So you started your project, final semester project.
Yeah, it was like basically, I did my projects at the last moment. So it
Okay.
was like after 3 months because my internship and then the education, the classes and everything, I didn't have much time. I was focusing into more into this internship, learning like industrial standards. So after 3 months, I started my projects in the fourth month, and my professor basically said it's not possible to do it, but still somehow I managed, work too hard like until like 2 p.m. or like sorry 2 a.m. in the morning, and then I
Okay.
had to like do stuff. So somehow I managed to complete it on time because again like I don't want to waste time. I want to like complete my education and then go back, start working, and then give something back to my parents.
Super. Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah,
At this young age, if we don't work hard, which ages we are going to work? So
yeah, yeah,
really proud of you to take that particular timely effort so that you completed the degree on time, which is also equally important.
yeah.
So what was your title, brother? Your final year project?
So it was basically on like erosion resistance of a windmill. So it's there is a windmill and there is
Okay.
blades. So the
Yes, yes,
blades
yes.
tend to like wear because of the rain.
Okay.
So I was, like doing an research on impact on droplet on
Okay.
windmills. So to
Okay.
reduce it, I was working on this material, like composite material.
Okay.
So I was coming up with a new material to like, develop blades. So it was Kevlar material, the material which they
Okay.
use it on the industrial, like, defense industry.
Wow.
It's
Okay.
weightless. It's more like strength compared to like any metal, because compound materials are much stronger than steel, and they are
Yes.
weightless and it's more efficient. I was working on that. It was just a study, not just like a practical, because of COVID again I couldn't do much.
Mm.
But my
Mm.
professor gave me an opportunity to do like water jet machining. They had a live experiment running because
Okay.
I can make my own blades like a prototype,
Okay.
and then they
Okay.
test it in a laboratory where the constant water droplet is being like fed, and then
Good.
I check the wear resistance of the material. But again, because of pandemic, I couldn't do much. Without pandemic, I could have really done something good. So
Something
that
good.
was
Okay.
one setback. Like I was, like planning to do something like really, really good, but I was hoping for it. But pandemic, it's God's plan.
Yeah, that's a very big hindrance to the entire world, not only to Venkat,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
still, instead of just sitting back, you went ahead and whatever possible, instead of
yeah.
sitting and complaining, whatever possible, you finished it up. Very good. So when did you get your degree? When did you finish your degree? I mean, yeah.
So it was my education was around 2019, between like 2021, somewhere between that. And then in the month of April or May, I completed, and then I got my job like 2 months after my graduation, because they already gave me a kind of a paper where it stated this so and so person passed a degree with so and so grades. But to get my official, like this master's degree, it took a couple of months, like 3 to 4 months.
Okay.
So basically, like I got it after like 2 months after my
2 months.
graduation. I got it. Yeah.
Super. Before we talk about your professional life, as a
Mhm.
student, what's your monthly expenses in Slovakia? In a month, how much do you used to spend normally?
I was spending basically, just split down, I would say 100 euros on my dormitory
Okay.
and 100 euros for groceries, like
Okay.
basics, the necessary onion, tomatoes, and fruits and
Yeah.
snacks. And that's everything I spent. Only like
Super.
maybe let's say like whenever I had to go for a trip, then again for one country it's 250 euros.
Okay.
So
So
almost
living
like 200
expenses,
euro. Yeah.
yeah, 200 euros plus per month
Plus
on a
travel,
living.
like I would say I forgot, like 50 euros per month. It's 250
Okay.
euros and I'll be happy. Yeah.
So good, especially when we are not earning, we are a student. It's good to
Yeah.
spend less, right? To budget
Yeah.
it. And I feel it's a way of life. When I see students, even if their parents are ready to support whatever, I feel, why do we have to spend so much during studies?
Yeah.
And we can do that. So it's really nice. I also did the same way. Wonderful.
Yeah.
So then when did you start applying for jobs, Venkat?
So basically I did after my education, like after completion of my course, and then professor gave me a certificate that I have passed exam with this. So it was around, I think, mm, April or May. So I got my first job around like July or August.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was your first job, your designation?
So it was a quality controller in a company called like ZVL. They are producing, like they're manufacturing ball bearings for some companies. Yeah.
Super. So, after all these, efforts and challenges,
Yeah.
how happy you were to get your first job?
So I was really happy, but people tend to like take advantage of you because I was paid really less. I was only, getting paid experience, not money. I was not literally focusing on money at the initial
Okay.
times because
Okay.
without that, I could not, like work in such a big company like as Rane Madras.
Okay.
So only that I was really happy, to be honest, to get a job. I was because of the language barrier. I would say it's better, like, to have more experience because I was regretting that not having experience from India. But because basically, like, people want experience or know the local language. I had none of those, no
Okay.
experience and no language. It was really difficult. So I had to take in with what I have. And then slowly, I moved to capital city in Bratislava.
Super.
And then people are more to like English. There's so many like international companies. And then I could cope up and somehow now like I work in
Super.
Rani and I'm happy at the point where I'm right now.
Yeah, that's my question right now. So, which company you're working right now, which city, and what's your current designation now?
Okay. So basically I live in capital city of Slovakia in
Super.
Bratislava. I was
Mhm.
living here for the past 2 years
Okay.
and I work as a quality resident for Rane Madras.
Super.
And Rane Madras are like suppliers, like they supply basically steering columns for Stellantis. Like Stellantis is the client. So Stellantis is a like very really big like car assembly plant here in Slovakia, and they are assembling Citroen, Peugeot, and Opel cars. So they are supplying steering mechanism for all these cars. So I was like kind of quality person to ensure all the quality the products are under like quality. So if there is any issue that I have to be the one to like report back to like my company, Rane Madras. So I was like really fortunate to have such, like opportunity to work. They're like really like friendly and they are like really like very keen into like train me for like, have more opportunities in different countries. Also, they asked me to work and like also in Germany, like they are also
Okay.
another plant. Whenever there is a issue, again I go there, I train with other person, and then I can just take care of German plant as well in the future. So they have like zone, so I'll be responsible for the other zone as a
Super.
representative of Rane Madras.
Super. So basically, you like what you're doing right now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's all about life, right? Forget about the earnings and all the other aspects. Once
Hmm.
you love what you do,
Hmm.
every day is a joy. But when we
Hmm.
do something which we don't like or which we hate,
Hmm.
I guess
Hmm.
that's stress picks up. Don't you think so,
Yeah,
Venkat?
yeah, that's true. So yeah, exactly. Because I was really like unhappy when people were taking advantage, like foreigners, they can just pay us like less. And then because we had no other option, to be honest. And
Yeah.
lately, like after Rane Madras, they are like really like top tier, and also
Super.
they offer like flight tickets once in a year, like it's like free tickets, and then they said also they'll arrange for like a spouse visa like for free. I was
Super.
like really fortunate to work in such company, and also I work as a freelancer now,
Okay.
so it's not, like a typical job. I don't have to like wake up 6 and then start my work at 7 and then till 5:36.
Okay.
So it was very
After you.
flexible. Yeah.
Super.
So
And
whenever
when you
there is
said,
a yeah,
please,
sorry.
please. No, please go ahead.
Whenever there is a issue, only then I have to be physically present for 24 hours. If
Okay.
not, I can just visit once or twice in a week and then I'm done with it. Yeah.
Super. When you said about your initial work life and all those things, but we go through these sort of hardships to get into a company like Rane or a reputed firm, right? That's how life starts. For some people, it's like easy from day one they get into these things, but these setbacks and issues only makes us stronger. Don't you think so, Venkat?
Yeah, that's exactly true what you said. And also before Rani, I was also working in a different company called Segular Technologies.
Super.
So I had like so much. I had to work like 12 hours, so underpaid. So, but it was, as I said, like I was not getting paid, I was paid with experience. So
Okay.
all this led me to this moment right now, which I'm
Exactly.
happy. Yeah,
Yeah, with your permission, I would like to tell the audience the starting is always challenging. You
yeah,
cannot give up or you cannot just sit and crib. Rather,
yeah.
like our friend Venkat here, you have to keep learning and there will be some positivity. How much ever the situation is challenging, you keep moving forward and expect, you know, better growth the next day, but you have to keep working. Without working, we will not reach these heights, basically. So, one thing which I wanted to ask you, tell us about the city Bratislava. How good it is, how vibrant it is, please.
So compared to any city in Slovakia, Bratislava is like a true gem. So
Okay.
for a foreigners, people do speak almost like 50% of the population, they do speak English. You can like literally like have people around. You can just on weekends always parties going around, and there are like so many things that you can do in Bratislava, like castles, just UFO bridge. There are like rivers and lakes, and there is more tourism companies. Like there's more foreigners. You can socialize, go to a coffee shop, then speak with somebody like random, and they're like really friendly and they're open minded. They don't see like your race or something, because obviously like there are so many people like Germans, like this country, like people from other country like Austria, they just come visit and then they just enjoy. During summer, it's not just one country people, like it's all over the world just flowing in, because Bratislava is almost near to Austria. People go to
Austria.
Austria, 1 hour travel, and then they visit Slovakia and then they go back.
Yeah, Vienna border is
Yeah,
Bratislava.
yeah,
It's like two capital cities almost close by. I think
very close. Yeah,
this
yeah,
is
exactly. Yeah,
this is only in you know uh, Europe. And the way that you talk about Bratislava, we could clearly understand how much you like this particular city.
yeah,
Now you live in a city where you have a lot of people whom you could vibe with, talk with, and
yeah.
socialize. And life, I always feel it's about exploring new places, talking to new people, learning about them, sharing our thought process and all those things. I think
Hmm.
this as a person also helps in our overall holistic development. Wonderful.
Hmm. Yeah,
During your work, do you also keep traveling to other countries regarding your work?
yeah. For now, no, but in like couple of months, they're asking me for a full time. And
Okay.
at that particular time, I already signed a contract that I had to travel to Africa, like Morocco, and then like Serbia.
Wow.
Like, so it was part of my full-time job. So of course, after whenever there's issue, I have to go there, but it's fully paid by company. I just
Super.
have
So,
to
of
go
course.
there just a week or two, and then I come back, something like this.
So, from when does this start? Full time with Rane?
So it starts from this month. So they're already like starting the paperwork.
Super.
So it's maybe like from March, I'll have the contract. So basically, I'm fully committed. I should give 8 hours every day. But obviously, they are like very flexible. So whenever there is a need, I promise them I'll be there 24/7. So
Super.
if not,
That's how.
just leave me like free, and then I'll do my stuff, and I'll, because like they never had a question me. I was doing my work properly and sending weekly reports, daily reports, what I'm doing, everything. They are satisfied. So that is why when I've been working with them for 1 year now, and then they said like you are really good, and we are like hoping to have you like as a quality representative for
Super.
Eastern Europe for these 3 countries, also plus Germany if possible. So yeah,
Amazing,
basically,
man.
yeah,
See, the company pays us. So
yeah,
we have to put our heart, mind, and soul and be up to their
mhm,
task and solve all their problems. If we
yeah,
don't like the company, move to other company. It's simple.
yeah,
We cannot
yeah,
be in some company, waste their time, our time.
yeah,
Correct,
yeah,
right?
that's true. Yeah.
Brother. Super. And I'm actually looking forward for your journey into Africa. It's
Yeah,
going to be a
sure.
new country, new problems, new issues, and again, at young ages, it's only going to add to your portfolio,
Yeah.
your problem-solving ability, and all those things. It all started from the moment where your senior said you have to work for 5-6 years after your bachelor's to reach 30K salary. You
Yeah,
understand?
exactly. Yeah.
You should thank that particular person because I think that triggered everything, the
Yeah,
entire journey.
exactly. Yeah.
Super, super. Wonderful, man. Instead of just following the same old prototype, you
Mhm.
came forward, did all these things, and sharing this to our students. We are really, really happy. Super. And as you know, only we promote Slovakia, Czech Republic, and all these countries. And looking at success stories like you guys, really motivates us. And the university is also watching all these videos. They are sharing our LinkedIn post and they are posting about you guys. Yes, Indian students have become a very big, very good asset for us. Majority of them, and they say one particular point about you guys, about your adaptability. Indians, they adapt to their challenges and the processes very quickly. I feel this is the time to work hard and explore so that the future is always brighter and safer.
Mhm.
Yes. Wonderful. So excellent, man. So before we wind up this interview, any last things that you'd like to say?
So like I would say like work hard. Just don't expect too much in the first couple of years, like 3 years or 4 years, let's
Yes.
say. And then like from fifth year, it is all going to pay you like double or triple the money you spent
Yes.
already. So like initially, if you go like do part times and then do some, if you wait for like highly paid jobs, which is not giving you skill, it's better to have a low paid job and have a skill. And then from the third year, you will have a growth of like 3x.
Super.
So something like this. Still, I'm, better compared to all my friends. I'm getting paid well. I'm really
Super.
happy. And the flexibility I have is the most important. Like I enjoy my job.
Super, man. That I could see from the interview. How well
Yeah.
you value your current job and how happy you are. That's quite visible from your eyes and
Yeah.
the way that the way you express. And rightly you said to the youngsters, start with whatever you get. Okay.
Mhm.
Don't sit and wait, which I also don't do, brother. Even if,
Yeah.
for example, you are on a national highway,
Mm.
walking and you're asking for a lift. Okay. We have to
Mhm.
keep walking and then ask lift. You sit at
Yeah.
a place, put your hand, nobody is going to stop for you. You
Yeah.
have to keep
Exactly.
moving. At the same time, ask for lift. Then you reach your
Yeah.
destination faster. Thank
Exactly.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Venkat. It was a pleasure talking to you. And I'm
Yeah.
really happy that you're doing super good. And ESC, to be a small part at the beginning of your journey, we are really happy,
Yeah.
to join hands with you into this entire process. And best wishes on your full-time job. And I would personally connect with you after 2-3 years to at least learn about your African experience. Of
Yeah. Okay. Sure. No problem.
Sure, brother. Thank you so much, and all the best and best regards to you and your family members and your future
Yeah.
endeavors. Thanks
Yeah.
for your
Thank
time.
you. Yeah. Thank you, sir.